Welcome to the Getting Started tutorial video for Mega Menu. In this video, we're going to get you up and running as quickly as possible and cover all the basics so you get a good grasp on how Mega Menu works. A good place to start is the anatomy page on C5 Extra's website. This explains the different components that make up a Mega Menu. First of all, we've got number one. It's the logo, image, and text. So this is optional. You don't have to put this on there. Number two is the manual nav menu. This can either go before or after element number three. These are links that you can add to your own website, to an external website, or to a file from your file manager. Dynamic nav menu, element number three, is generated from pages in your sitemap. Element number four is the extras area, and this is where you can place your call to action buttons and other widgets such as the language switch, the search tool, or the members drop-down menu. The last part, which you can't see in this screenshot, is the hamburger menu. We'll cover the hamburger menu in more detail in a later video. So what I've got here is an example where I'll call a kitchen sink example, which covers a lot of features for Mega Menu. We've got a simple drop-down, we've got an auto Mega menu, we've got an extended menu, which uses page list blocks, and we've got a more advanced extended menu, which has more advanced blocks, such as this panel nav. And then there's a kitchen sink, which has just about everything you can throw into a menu. So we're going to start off by showing you how easy it is to add this block to a page. All you do is you click on plus at the top, search for Mega, and drag your block onto the page. And all the default settings are configured in such a way that you can get up and running very quickly. You don't have to change anything if you don't want. Just try to add the block, and within seconds, you've got yourself a drop-down menu based on the site structure. Here we go. So you can see these drop-downs have been automatically created for you, and you didn't have to change anything. So that's how you can do it very quickly. All of the options are default set so that it's going to look great. It'll cover a lot of use cases, and you don't have to change too much if you don't want to, but you do have a lot of control and you can do a lot with Mega Menu, which is why I've explained all of this in more detail in multiple videos. So let's have a look at the user interface and I'll explain that a little more. This is the user interface for Mega Menu. The way it is structured is there are tabs along the top which group together related settings, such as the mobile navigation menu, extended menu, and advanced. And then within each of these, there are sections which are expandable, such as this one, menu animation. When you click on it, it's an accordion that expands. You click on it again to collapse. And it reveals more related settings and fields for that particular set, in this case, behavior. This way you can get straight to a particular setting that you want to without having to scroll through a lot of a busy user interface. This keeps the user interface neat, tidy, and very clean. You'll also find in the editor interface, there are tooltips for every single field. And these tooltips explain in more detail about how the field works, what it's used for, and a recommended default setting. Obviously, you don't have to follow the recommendations. You can do anything you want with it, but this helps you to get up and running quickly and get a good grasp on how it works. In addition to the tooltips, there's also inline help like this. It's shaded in blue. And this explains a particular area in more detail than what it could just fit into a tooltip. In addition to the text, it also has context-sensitive links to other resources or to within your own dashboard. For example, here, this one for page icons, there is a deep link to your file manager and to your sitemap. And when you click on that, it will open up in a new browser tab, so you don't lose your spot where you're editing right now. This makes it very easy and quick to get to where you need to go without losing your progress. In addition, have a look over here at the Help tab at the very end. I highly recommend reading through this in your own time. There is a lot of information on here to help you get started and answer common questions, and it helps you get a good grasp on what's possible with Mega Menu. Within this Help tab, there is links to creating a support ticket and further documentation for Mega Menu. The documentation online that I've created is very thorough and deep and rich, so you can it'll probably answer most of the questions you have straight away without having to open a support ticket. But if you can't find an answer, and you want to ask a question, feel free to open a support ticket. You get 1 year of free updates with the add-on. Okay, there are 3 other concepts that are relevant to Mega Menu that rely on Concrete CMS. This is the 3 things I'll just cover very briefly now. First one is the sitemap in the dashboard. It's important to understand how this works. This is the overall structure of your website, and this is what drives Mega Menu when you create new pages in your site. And within your sitemap, you can rearrange pages, drag and drop them. You can add pages and sub-pages underneath it very easily. There's some good documentation on the Concrete CMS website for that. This is a very important foundation to understand the bare basics. The next section of the dashboard is the stacks and global areas. Stacks is a group of content that is not necessarily on a public-facing page. And this is what Mega Menu uses in order to pull in content on various aspects, such as the members drop-down menu or the info bar along the top. This way you can customize different pieces of content and even some of the drop-down content like this. This is an example of one of the menus. You might recognize some of the content from the example I just showed you. So this is stacks. And the third part is the file manager. This is where files like images or PDFs belong in your site. And Mega Menu requires those in order to add icons and other things like that if you choose to enable that. So those 3 things are very important: the sitemap, stacks, and file manager. And I'll go into more detail with those in the next video. So there you have everything just to get you started as quickly as possible with Mega Menu. You've got from 0 to up and running with a new block on the page. That looks great. Please watch the next video and I'll go into this in a little more detail with basic menu content.